Recently, just beat Half-Life Alyx. I got a new computer built in time for this game. Even got the Valve Index, just so I could play this game. Well, a lot of money to dump into this setup, just so I could be able to play this, but since the new computer is basically done and running, with the exception of a few more fans up the cooling system, as well as some other knickknacks such as a sound system, as well as 4K TVs, got it done just in time. And when I first started messing around with VR, I jumped right into it. First thing I did was launch a Spider-Man game, and it started me on top of a building. I held out the controllers in my hands, shot a web out, flung my arms, and it slingshotted me right off the building. Down I went. I could feel my feet on the floor, but it feels like I'm falling. I just start shooting webs, building to building, trying to get rid of that falling feeling. But now I just have a dizzy feeling. And I'm flying by everything until finally I just hit a building. After that, I took off the headset and almost felt like I wanted to throw up. Over the next couple of days or so, I've been trying out other VR games to get myself accommodated to it. Not realizing that I was doing everything wrong. Not even really reading up on VR and what I have to look out for. Just dove right into it. Half-Life Alyx came out, got in there, and opened up to this amazing world. It tells us it's 5 years before the death of Eli Vance in Half-Life 2 Episode 2. We're brought up with Alyx. We see from our apartment the Citadel under construction, and looking around, seeing all these little things to interact with, even taking a marker and writing on the window. Just little knickknacks here and there, and our story begins to quite the adventure. Eli being taken away to Nova Prospect, I think it was, and Alyx is going to go save him. Alright, this all sounds kind of familiar. This happened before, where Eli was taken to the top of the Citadel in front of Breen. Gordon was captured, as well as Alyx. I wonder how many times Eli's gotten captured that we don't even know about. After seeing all this crazy stuff, new head crabs and new this and that, it's like we gotta go to a vault. And this vault contains a deadly weapon. The deadly weapon is suspected to be Gordon Freeman. Well, who's that? Everybody seems to know who Gordon Freeman is. Alyx doesn't know. It's 5 years before she even met Gordon Freeman. Now she's here in the history. The only one to survive the incident at Black Mesa, and he did it with a crowbar. Now, this is what I really want to get into. The way the game ended. Because we get there after a bunch of shenanigans, fighting our way around. You then make your way into the vault and cross the walkway into the center of the room. As we're approaching, I'm seeing this figure in there, and immediately I know this is not Gordon Freeman. This is the G-Man, as we know him to be. And we open up his cell, and he turns around and greets Alyx. They go through a line of dialogue. Alyx asks, "Gordon Freeman?" ? To which he responds like, "Gordon Freeman?" And G-Man describes a little what he does for his employers. So who are these employers of his? The American government? The Russians? The Freemasons? Bilderberg? Some sort of ultimate gathering of intelligent creatures from faraway worlds? I don't know. He is the one we would see all throughout the entire series at random points. Through the first Half-Life, the other ones just walk through doorways out of thin air. Seems to manipulate things. As he explains to Alyx, he gives things a little nudge, to which he asks, "What would you like nudged?" She would like the Combine to leave Earth. But the G-Man says that would take an extra bit of nudging. However, he shows her something that she would want nudged.
Dad? What? Is that me?
Her holding her dead father, like she did, crying at the end of Half-Life 2 Episode 2. Alyx is confused, what's going on, and she's given the chance to save her father that he already pointed out in the future. When she does that, she's gone. Her status is hired, awaiting assignment. Like Gordon Freeman in the end of Half-Life. Like Shepard in the end of Half-Life Opposing Force. We currently have never heard from again. Barney Calhoun, he, to my recollection, has never encountered the G-Man in Half-Life Blue Shift. We already know in Half-Life 2 Episode 2 that Eli knows who this man is.
Hey! Gordon!
Prepare for unforeseen consequences, which was a message he said to her in that very game. She was hanging on for dear life, and the Vortigons were keeping her stable. He told her,
"When you see your father, relay these words. Prepare for unforeseen consequences.
She relayed that message and later he died. Well, now that Alyx has saved her father in the future, she's gone. Eli is now alive and he's angry. He says it's like Alyx is gone.
She's gone, Gordon. She's gone. Son of a bitch, it has unforeseen consequences.
And I believe if you were to see off to the left-hand side, that was him walking away into the air. Just gone. Gordon, you're now in control of Gordon, which I hand you a crowbar and you take it. So what does this mean? How does this affect all that we played through? 5 years before Eli died. And now Eli is alive. Bam, future. What does this do to the timeline? I thought maybe you would be able to play Half-Life, Half-Life Opposing Force, Blue Shift, Half-Life Alyx, Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 Episode 1, Half-Life 2 Episode 2, and I don't know, squeeze some Portal games in there too if you want. Obviously Portal 2 would be at the tail end of that. I feel like something in time is going to screw up all the events that happen in the Half-Life 2 games. Alyx is just gone? Or was she just gone, taken away into the future? How Alyx, present day Alyx, should still be back at her present time, and now it's future Alyx, Half-Life 2 Episode 2 Alyx, is the one that's taken away. Because Alyx still has to go through the events of those Half-Life 2 games. Something's really been rubbing me the wrong way. And it's like, what am I, a time traveling expert? What I know how things work is from Back to the Future and Terminator. Just seems like something is really off. I don't know what to think of it. We understand at the end of Half-Life 2 Episode 2, leading into what I would have hoped would have been Half-Life 3, not just Half-Life 2 Episode 3, because they're supposed to go to the Antarctic to find a ship, the Borealis, something that belonged to Aperture Science Laboratories, whatever, where Portal takes place, which there should be an Easter egg in Portal 2. Go through a door, you see where the Borealis was docked. Well, we know it was in the Antarctic, and we know that Gordon and Alyx are supposed to go there and destroy that ship. It has portal technology that the Combine should be interested in to maybe bring more of their kind to Earth or for them to get out. I believe it was to bring their kind back to Earth. I must not be remembering something correctly, but I'll play it again. Play through all of them again and we'll figure it out. I'm sure others have the answers. I could easily look it up, but that's going to take away from the fun and the experience. So what's going to happen now that Alyx is gone? It's now Gordon and Eli. Eli's pissed. And he swears he's going to kill that man. He's going to kill him. G-Man talked about her. That's when she was just a mere child.
When I plucked her from Black Mesa, I acted in the face of objections that she was a mere child and of no practical use to anyone. I have learned to ignore such naysayers when quelling them was out of the question.
Playing her off, I guess, to his employers. Like, I guess he saw something involving her with the future, I'm guessing. It was really weird. But he found her to be an exceptional hire, I guess capable of things that Gordon Freeman was incapable of doing. Well, what's that? Gordon Freeman's done quite a lot. Certainly more than Alyx has ever done that I am aware of. Going back to Eli wanting to kill the G-Man. We know the G-Man is capable of being captured. We released him from his cell, thinking he was Gordon Freeman, the ultimate weapon. It turned out it's the G-Man who's the ultimate weapon. He was the ultimate weapon that the Combine is captured. But in the beginning of Half-Life 2 Episode 1, we see the Vortigaunt has captured the G-Man. So he's not immune from consequences. But what are these unforeseen consequences that he warns of? Alyx has been taken away. And now I guess we just have to wait. As much as the timeline got screwed up in my head about how things would work, I'm just gonna surrender my brain because I don't want to be one of those know-it-all people. Actually, this and that. That actually would have happened in real life. It would happen this way. It's like this is a fictional story. It's a science fiction. And I'm just going to roll with the flow because I am enjoying this. I am absolutely enjoying this. Rumors are that next Half-Life game will not be VR exclusive. I hope it will be. It better be VR. I dumped a lot of money into this just to get this stuff last minute. It was worth it. It was certainly worth it. Took a little getting used to. Speaking of, I had to look up a list. of things you should do. One, be well hydrated, eat food, and do little things in this and that. Play sitting down as much as you can. Stand up and just get a feel for it. But one particular person said, if you take anything away from what I have to say of how to get used to doing VR, it's have fans blowing at you, have air blowing at you. So, and one up here, one over there, air blowing at you. I think it helped out a lot. I wanted to play the game with the settings of continuous motion. So instead of just skip forward, skip back, skip left, right, I wanted everything to be continuous. I wanted to get used to that. So all in all, I loved this game. Some of it was terrifying. Some of it was funny. You had this weird character, Jeff.
There he is. Jeff. Right. Watch this. See? He's totally predictable. But he will rip your arms off if he finds you.
Gosh, Jeff, I cannot... What a terrifying individual that was. You had Russel, who communicated with over radio throughout the game.
Russ, how's Dad doing? Does he seem okay?
Oh, he's fine, Alyx. He's working away over there.
Good.
Alyx, great. Okay, let's... Wait, my drone's okay, right?
Yeah, weapons and weapon upgrades.
Almost got it. Oh, that really worked, didn't it?
Alright. I have a confession to make. Around in my hand. There was one particular event involving a head crab that freaked me out and got me jumping. I wanted to hit this freaking thing, and I swung my arm, and all of a sudden the controller would whack onto something, and it turned out my chair wasn't moved far away from my bubble perimeter that I cannot step out of, or I'm going to start hitting things here and there. And I got a little tiny crack on this, and it just broke my heart. Thankfully, it's not really noticeable. I could probably repair this, and no one will be the wiser. You can't even really notice it unless I point it out for you. But it just broke my heart. It's like, I just dumped a freaking $1,000 into this, and I did that. $1,000 on this whole headset. But I'll get over it. Worst comes to worst, I break these things anymore. I pay $150 for 2 new controllers. And I guess that just means I have a extra one for when I break the other one. Or if I keep breaking the right-handed ones, I'm gonna have a ton of left-handed controllers. What else do I say other than I love this game? It was a fantastic experience. I remember way back when I played the Half-Life demo. It caught my eye because I would always play any game I could from Sierra online, and seeing that Sierra was involved with this game Half-Life, it's like a demo. I thought it was neat. I thought it was really neat. Then I finally get to play the game, and I played the whole thing from beginning to end, and then Opposing Force and Blue Shift, and years later, I get my first new computer built just in time for Half-Life 2. Collector's Edition box, came with a shirt and all that. I still have that somewhere. I'll have to find that, show that next time. It's like, that computer was ready just in time for that. This computer's ready just in time for this. And rightfully so. Some of the greatest games ever. I love them. I'm glad to know that a lot of people love it as much as I do. So anyways, I guess we'll see in the next 13 years for the next Half-Life installment of what happens here. I'm greatly satisfied. I will sit down and play this again soon. Valve, it was a long wait, but it turned out to be pretty worth it, given the next level technology you decide to utilize for it. But I'm not wanting to wait that amount of time again. Before I said, I think Half-Life Alyx would be a pretty good game. Most certainly was.
Dad, prepare for unforeseen consequences.
What did you say?
Dad! Okay. It's okay. Just lean into me. Let's get you off your feet.
Thank you, baby. I'll be fine in a minute or two.
Okay. Do you need anything?
Actually, Alyx, would you mind getting me a cup of tea? There's a hot plate in the old staff room.